Hey everybody, today we are going to be budgeting my husband's and my paychecks for almost $4,400. So how is everybody? I hope everyone has had a great couple of weeks since we last did a budget with me. We do budget with me's every other week when we get paid. My husband and I are both bi-weekly paid employees. We are zero-based budgeters. And we also do some cash stuffing, and we're working on getting a month ahead. So the month of June is actually going to be very exciting for us. This is our bill calendar for June, and June has 1, 2, 3 paydays. So we're sitting here, this is our paycheck from June 16th, and we have 2 bills to pay: our car payment and our mortgage. And what we're going to do is we're going to have that cover all the way through the end of the month. And then next month in July, when we get to our budget with me for June 30th, we're actually going to cover the bills for the first half of July. And then we're going to be a half of a month ahead. If you're paid bi-weekly and your payday is also June 16th, then you're going to have your magic month with me as well. And then December will be our next magic month. And I'm really hoping and praying that we can be a month ahead in the month of December. But we'll see how it works out because we do have some life happening between now and then. All right. Okay, so today's June 16th. We're going to be budgeting our June 16th paycheck. Our pay period is June 16th. And we're going to be covering the bills through June 30th. If you know me, you know I like color. And if you don't know, or if you're new to the channel, my name is Wendy. This channel is Budget Pumpkin, and here we do a lot of different things involving money, finance, planning, cash stuffing, just different ways to handle your money. And I am transparent with all of you as to what we make and what we're spending in our debt situation. So I don't have time to make up a fake budget to go with all of you. This is how I budget our money every other week, and our cash stuffings we do every week. So we have a paycheck from our hubby and a paycheck from wifey. So he had like a ton of overtime, you guys. $2,630.72. I had a check. I was short my last paycheck because they forgot to pay me for a day that I went to training. That was not on this check, but I have confirmed from our HR department that it will be on the next check. So there might be some things that we owe that we're going to let ride till the next check so I can make sure we get them paid. So I made $1,748.01. And together that's $4,378.73 that we have to budget. And we're going to go ahead and fill that in down here as well. Now we have a few things that we are going to owe. So in category number 2, we owe $124.37. In box number 4, we owe $110. And in box number 5, we owe $180. And this is kind of a result for me being short paid last check. So last check, we were supposed to send money to our savings account. We were only able to send a portion of that. So we owe that. We owe our subscriptions. I typically try and put $120 here per paycheck. And those are subscriptions for some businesses that we are starting and also for personal. So we only paid one subscription, and that was our Spotify. Sinking funds, I tried and send 182, and I didn't send any from this paycheck. So those are the 3 things that we owe because our checks were short, or my check was short. And we've been tighter lately because we're saving money to do, I'm having a surgery in the fall, so we're saving money to cover my lost income. So we're trying to work over as much as we can right now, so that we can have extra later. So technically, I'm kind of over budgeting our money and hoping we get overtime, which is never how you really want to budget. But it's just kind of, we're doing it until just a couple more months. We're going to be doing it until September. And then the last check in September, I'm planning on 4 paychecks actually being short because I'm going to have surgery. So the bills that we need to pay, so if we look at our bill calendar, and I kind of reversed the colors somewhere, but we have a $300 car payment on the 16th and a $25, or on the 25th, we have a $1,100 mortgage. So on the 16th, we have a car payment of $300. And on the 25th, we have a mortgage payment of $1,100. Now, you guys know me, and you know math is hard for me. Actually, it's not necessarily hard. It's just like getting this tiny little calculator to work, and I don't have another one. So I tend to write everything out, and I have it on the side. So I'm not really a math genius, but if you want to think that way, that's awesome. But we don't. I'm not that great at math, so I have it all written out. Now, it's important, I put away half of a month of bills here and half of a month of bills here. So half of a month of bills for our bills, I'm going to write it up here, is $1,228. So since we were supposed to save our money last time to roll in here because we didn't have as many bills. So now this $1,100 plus $300, that's $1,400. So I should be pulling that money out of my savings to cover that half of a payment. So I should be taking $170 from my savings. To cover this bill. This should be a negative number, so that this number equals $1,228, because I was trying to pay half. And if the bills that I have don't add up to this number, I save it, and if they're more, then I've saved money enough that I have that to take out of my savings. But because we owe this amount, this $124.37, we owe to the savings $124.37. I can't pull out as much as I wanted to, right? So if we total this up, this is going to cost us $1,352.37, but it makes me feel a lot better because we no longer owe our savings account any money for this category. Okay. Credit cards and debt. So we don't have any credit cards that are due right now. Our minimum payments on our credit cards are $2,000 a month, and those, I do round those up a little bit because I'm trying to pay more than the minimum. But we have a lot of credit card debt that we're working on paying down. And so we pay $2,000 a month on our credit cards that we don't have anything due. So I'm going to save it to my savings. $1,000. Now, here's where a lot of people make a mistake, is they're going to say, oh, we don't owe any credit cards out of this paycheck, right? So the credit cards on this sheet are pink, but the ones that are checked off are already paid. They're already paid off. I don't owe any money on them. I just have them on here because sometimes we use them for day-to-day spending and then deposit the cash or whatever. But this card, and this card, we don't owe any minimums. It's all between the 1st and the 14th of the month, the cards that we owe money on. So somebody will say, oh, well, I don't have any credit cards due right now in this portion of the month. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to spend that money. And my husband and I used to do the same thing. Out of sight, out of mind, we're going to go ahead and spend it. And then when the beginning of the next month rolls around and we have to make $2,000 in credit card payments, we were super tight and strapped for cash and short. So by adding up all the minimum payments and dividing them by the 2 paychecks per month that we budget to those the bills, I'm going to save this money so that I have it for the beginning of the next month. So I've been doing this, and this has really been helping with our cash flow, and it's helping us not feel so restricted out of one check from the month, because, you know, if we didn't do this, one check would be super restrictive and the other check would be, we'd have like a ton of extra money, and that's kind of not how I want to work. I want to even things out so that we don't spend money emotionally, right? Because if you feel restricted in your budget, it's emotional. You're going to want to splurge, you know. So this stabilizes the budget. Okay, number 4 is our subscriptions. And so these are the things that we pay for. Some of them are for business. I think I have a video posted of what our subscriptions actually are. And like I said, some of them are for the businesses that we're starting, and some of them are for us. So I try and put $120 in here per pay. Okay, we owe it $110, and we are going to pay that full $110. So we're going to put a total of $230 in this category. So we don't owe that anymore. In our sinking funds, which we color yellow, I love color. It helps me see things. It helps me categorize things. I was thinking about starting to track our spending on paper and pen and then highlighting it the color that it goes into. So I'm kind of toying with that idea. I don't know if I'm going to do it or not. But we're going to put $180 per pay. So $180. And then we have money left. Oh, I didn't do that math. So we're going to have a total of $346.36 that we paid, which is, oh, okay, I did do the math. It's, so we paid $166.36. So we don't owe $180 anymore. We paid $166.36. And then, let me see, I think I wrote it on the other page here. We now owe, no, I didn't write it on the other page. Okay, so, I didn't do the math for that. So 180, I don't know if you can see this, minus 166.36 is $13.64, which really isn't a lot of money, but it is what we have. So 346.36. And then our last category, so these are, I don't think I mentioned about this one. These are sinking funds that we keep in the bank. So things that we know we're going to need to spend money on, but we're saving up for them. So like a driver's license renewal fee, or your car plates for every year, or, you know, maybe a car maintenance fund, or it's stuff that's going to happen that you know what's going to happen. You know you're going to have to put tires on your car. You know you're going to have brakes, oil changes, or you know that you're going to need a new roof on your house, or whatever it may be. You don't know when it's coming, but you're saving for it. So that's what sinking funds are. You're sinking money into that fund and putting it away to save up for when you are going to inevitably need it. You can also do sinking funds for like things that you're saving for. Like maybe you want a new computer, but you want to pay cash for it. You can start a sinking fund for your computer. So sinking funds are great because it's kind of like this little category, and you're just going to put money in there until you have it enough for what you want. And even if you can't cover like the full expense, you know, like maybe you only have $500 in your car care category and your tires are $700, at least you only have to try and figure out how to cover $200 of that expense of the whole thing. So when you're first starting, it can be frustrating because there's like so many different things that you want to save for. But just kind of go slow and figure out what you really need. And then that way you can fund it appropriately. All right, sinking funds. This is where we cash stuff, which will be the next video. So I'm recording this on Friday night. You're going to see it on Saturday morning. And then Sunday morning, you're going to see the actual cash stuffing. And we cash stuff out of this area right here. So for groceries, $300. That is $150 per week. Gas is $200 per week for the both of us. And then we each get our own spending money. So hubby, wifey, and then date night. We all get $100, so that's a total of $300. My surgery fund, that gets $350. And then we have our holidays. So 1 week, and that was last paycheck. So last paycheck, we stuffed our Christmas envelope with $100. This paycheck, we stuff our other 5 holiday envelopes for a total of $45. Or no, I'm sorry, $55. And then we're going to put debt, because I save $100 for Christmas on the one check. On this check, I only save $55 for the holidays, so we're going to do a $45 payment for our debt. And then our deal is that when we have a lot of overtime, when we have a big budget surplus like this, like with my husband, typically we would take like $100 for him and $100 for me, and that would go into our spending money. We discussed it, and we're trying more to get ahead and pay back some of this old stuff that we owe. So we decided that for the extra, we're going to do $50 each. So that's $100. And then also, I didn't want to have such a big check and not put anything towards debt. So I'm actually putting an extra $100 towards debt. So that's going to be $145 instead of $45. So this area here totals to $1,450. And if we add all of these up, this should match what our income was, because this is a zero-based budget. A zero-based budget does not mean that you pull all your money out to cash stuff or that you spend all of your money. Zero-based budgeting means that every dollar has a purpose. And so it may be a saving purpose, it may be a sinking fund, or to pay for something, or it could be for spending. But it doesn't mean that you just spend the rest of your check. So let's see, 1352.37 plus 1,000 plus 230 plus 346.36 plus 1450 is 4378.73, 4378.73. So that means we budgeted to zero and we have a zero-based budget. So if you're new here, hopefully you want to stay around and subscribe. If you have been around, thank you so much for staying around. I love doing this and showing you what we do because this holds me accountable, and I'm so happy that that you're here for the journey or even a part of the journey. I always hope that one of my videos helps at least one person in their financial journey. So thank you so much, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.